This segment of Coffee with Democrats is brought to you.
Welcome to Coffee with Democrats, a sensible platform for progressive conversations. Coffee with Democrats is a grassroots movement dedicated to hearing from Democrats, candidates, legislators, and friends from all political backgrounds who want great conversations. Coffee with Democrats is committed to increase Democrat voter registration and Democrat voter turnout by making voting more exciting and meaningful. And now here's your host of Coffee with Democrats, Kevin Dawson.
Well, good morning and welcome to Coffee Break on Coffee with Democrats. We have a special guest today from our neighboring state of Arkansas. We've got Caitlin Draper, who's running for Congressional District 3. Is that correct?
Yes,
I got it.
absolutely.
I don't know how I got that right. I don't know how I got
You
that
did
right.
Great.
But anyway, we are so happy to see you and good morning. It's great to see you, Caitlin. We're going to have a fun time.
Kevin, thank you so much for having me. I am a big fan. I think the work that you're doing is incredible, and I'm very honored to be here. So thank you.
Well, we are so honored to have you as well. And what just happened to your screen? I don't know what happened. I hope we didn't lose the link. I know she's on her cell phone, folks. So these things happen. We just have to go with it and keep moving along. So bear with us as we move through this technical issue here. But I apologize for that. But as soon as we can get Caitlin back on the line, we will have her join back in here as soon as possible. Again, folks, we've got Caitlin Draper, who is coming on to Coffee with Democrats, and we're excited to have her. I'm going to go ahead and present her screen so that you can see exactly who she is. Caitlin is... Again, she's running for U.S. Congress out of Northwest Arkansas. And Caitlin is a licensed clinical social worker. She specializes in people with autism spectrum disorder and eating disorders. Caitlin has made her mission to improve the lives of children and families in Northwest Arkansas. And we are excited about that. She also does the River Valley, and she's running for the next congressperson for Arkansas's 3rd Congressional District. So you should be seeing that on the screen as we have it right now. But let me see if we missed that. I'm going to do it one more time. There we go, right there. We can share that now. All right, folks, you're seeing it on the screen now. There is Caitlin's webpage, and we're excited to have her joining us. And Caitlin's back on. So let me dump this one and pull Caitlin back in. Good morning,
Would it really
Caitlin.
be a podcast if we didn't have technical issues? You know,
that's so true to form for no particular reason. But I'll tell you, this happens so often, and it's just technology. It's the way we have to be able to go with the flow and swing
right.
at we're just going to swing at the balls as they get thrown at us. How's that sound?
I love it. It's good practice for Congress, right?
Yes, exactly right.
Got to go with the flow.
Yeah. So thanks so much for joining us again. And I just tried to give you a little bit of a backstory about who you are and why we're supporting you on Coffee with Democrats. I'm going to tell you, folks who are watching this is an exciting time for everybody throughout the entire United States. In Coffee with Democrats, our mission statement is to connect blue dots all across the United States. Even though we're in Oklahoma and a lot of the people that are watching us are in Oklahoma, we have a lot of followers in Arkansas because one of our very first colleagues that we had on here was from Little Rock, and we really picked up a lot of followers from that district. So, all right, we're back on. We're starting to get more people that are joining us now. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Caitlin. Tell me a little bit, you're still in a prairie state, but you're more on the Delta side of things, but you're still in the prairie. So I'm going to ask you what's going on in your part of the prairie.
Oh my gosh, things are blowing up in the best way possible. We have so much momentum around this campaign. People are coming together to support Democrats up and down the ballot. So things have been great over here. But I'll start with a little bit about why I'm running and kind of use that to lean into what's going on over here in our campaign. But I'm Caitlin. I'm a clinical social worker, and I've got a private practice. And genuinely, day in and day out, I see people suffering in
Right.
the most unimaginable ways. It is awful. And I genuinely, after so much oppressive policy came out of our state legislature, I didn't know what else to do and decided to run for office. So Congress is kind of a big swing the first time to run for anything, but I'm really interested in ensuring that federal policy works for folks, regardless of where they live. If we can't trust our state legislators to keep us safe, we should have a stop fail, right? Like, and that is our federal government. So I'm very excited for this race. And, you know, we've been at it campaigning for almost a year, which is incredible. And the momentum has never been higher. We're, you know, having house parties, gathering with the community so many times per week. It's been great. So now we're focusing on knocking doors and getting the word out, getting people to the polls.
Well, and people can come and help you. I put the link there that gives the about, so people can come to your webpage. But you were getting ready to talk about how people can actually help your campaign. You know, being a volunteer, you've got to have people come and help you, drive you to doors. We need to have people that bring you water. People have to volunteer to man the phones and do phone banking for you and text banking and, you know, putting, you know, signs up for you and pamphlets for, you know, on door knockers and stuff like that. And all of this stuff that you have to do, every single bit of it costs money. You can't do any of that. You can't text, you can't phone. Everything you do has to cost money, and people got to know how they can come and help you with your campaign.
Absolutely. You know, and something that's been very exciting that's been driving up some of the donations is there was a poll that came out last Friday that shows that Kamala Harris is up 9 points in our district. 9 points. That's not me, but that shows that if people are going to show up and go vote Democrat, hopefully that's down the ballot. And, you know, we're working on a poll. So yes, lots of expenses. Here are a few ways that you can help. You can go to our website, CaitlinForArkansas.com. Click on the little red donate button at the top right-hand side of the website. That is one of the more important things that you can do is help us get our message out there, and that takes money. So donating is number one. Number two, we are soon going to have some fun call time Zooms where we'll ask you to get your phone out, get your email contacts lined up, and we're going to do call time together. We're going to call folks, tell them about the race, and tell them about why they should support us, a Democrat in Arkansas. It's going to be great. So I would ask for those two things. And then you can phone or text bank anywhere.
Right.
We have a sign or a little link on our website that says volunteer. You can click on that, fill out the form, and we'll be in contact with you so you can help us get that word out. If you live in Northwest Arkansas in the 3rd District, we also really need people to help knock doors. That is a very effective way to get people to the polls. So lots you can do to get connected and to help our campaign. We're actually working with an incredible group called Good Change. They are a platform that helps you raise money as a candidate, women, nonprofits. They have a sector for that too, but it's an Arkansas-based tech company, women-owned and Democrat-owned. So if you are able to support us through them, you're also supporting a woman-based Arkansas business.
And I've gotten to know Becky really well over the years, and she is such a champion, such a fun person.
Gosh.
And it's so fun to know that she's supporting your campaign and helping your campaign grow. And we got to actually talk more about your campaign. And you've got so much to talk about. I want to go ahead and allow you to talk more about your campaign and some of the strategy that you have.
Yeah, I'll tell some stories while we talk about strategy.
Sure,
But
sure.
I mentioned that one reason I'm running is my clients
Right.
wanting to help relieve their suffering. But another thing that is so important to me is restoring women's rights. So reversing the Dobbs decision and codifying Roe v. Wade, right, into law. I had a miscarriage back in March that was terrifying. We've been trying to grow our family through IVF, and essentially the miscarriage was early enough. It was right before 6 weeks that they thought, based on my hormone levels, that it could be an ectopic pregnancy. And for about 10 days, I was stuck in this limbo of being terrified that this pregnancy was ectopic. And I asked my doctor, if I go to the emergency room, and it is ectopic, can they help me? And she said, I don't know. So, having to make plans to leave the state was awful and terrifying, but I can do that. What about the women in my district that can't, right?
Absolutely. Right.
That absolutely motivates me and is another reason why I'm running. But when we talk strategy, we know that pro-choice candidates are winning all over the country, because even folks across the aisle know that this is a huge overreach of our government to try to, step over the line and control women's bodies when they aren't medical doctors. These are decisions that are made between women, their family, their faith leaders, and their doctor, right?
Absolutely.
So that is a huge strategy of ours, is really ensuring that people know that I'm the pro-choice candidate. We saw, choice win in places like Alabama with that, I believe, state house candidate who won in a ruby red district. It's winning everywhere. And we are continuing to try to amplify that message. So that's one strategy. Another strategy, in the social work field, they tell us to meet our clients where they are. Not necessarily where you are, where you think that they should be, but where they are. And that is something that we are really working on in this campaign, is meeting our voters where they are. Are you on TikTok? Okay, I'll be on TikTok. Are you on Facebook, Instagram? Do you read the newspaper? Are you in your car? Do you listen to the radio? Are you on this podcast? We're going to meet you there. So that's been a huge part of our strategy. And then also, of course, we need to win Washington and Benton counties. We also need to win or take a very large lead in Sebastian County, while still getting votes everywhere else we can in our other counties.
Right. And you brought up so many good things. We saw that women's rights matter in Ohio. We saw women's rights really matter in one of our states that neighbors both of us, is in Kansas.
In Kansas,
so,
yeah.
This isn't just an East Coast issue. This isn't a West Coast issue. It's not a Gulf issue or a North issue. This is our issue, and our issue is the freedom of the people. And I think that's so important for you as a candidate, being able to promote your candidacy as for we the people, and that means every single person. So that really matters to me. And you're a servant leader, which that I think really makes a big difference. So we talked about how people can help. Well, talk to us a little bit. You've been knocking doors. You've been talking to people on at where they are. Tell us a bit about the overall enthusiasm about being a Democrat this year. You talked about being up 9 points. Isn't that unheard of in Arkansas, especially in that part, to be have Harris up 9 points in that poll? Talk a little bit about that, and then let's talk about how people. When is the registration? People have to be signed up by a certain time in order to be registered to vote, and we'll get into that a little bit.
So you have to be registered to vote by October 7th. And if you are mailing in your voter registration form, that has to be postmarked by October 7th. Unfortunately, Arkansas is a state that engages in a lot of voter suppression. So you cannot register to vote online. But you can go to your county clerk's office. If you call the county courthouse, they can help you They can connect you. You can also go to, iwillvote.com to help. You just click on the state you're in and they will help you get connected to register to vote. So very important stuff there. Kevin, the other thing you had mentioned was talking about the huge momentum. Before President Biden, which I think all of us Democrats celebrate his hard work and the years of service. He has done a phenomenal job, and honestly, is a patriot stepping down and allowing Kamala to lead. And I think she's going to do a fabulous job. But that's something that we are hearing from people is hope. That's something that I don't think that we've had a lot of since maybe the Obama campaign. But we have hope now. We have this phenomenal woman taking the lead, and people from all over the country are feeling it. We have people that are typically Republican voting for Kamala Harris. We have Democrats that are wanting to do more than they have ever, because there is an urgency to help save democracy.
Right.
And I don't think that's hyperbole. I think that is something that we are really all up against if Donald Trump is elected again. And, I think Democrats are taking up action with joy, and that is causing a huge momentum shift.
Well, folks, we've got a wonderful candidate with Caitlin Draper in Arkansas 3rd Congressional District. She's running for U.S. House. Please support her as much as you can. We're not asking anybody to go broke. We're just asking you to do as much as you can. And man, I tell you what, this is the first time we've ever met, and you have got me fired up. I am so excited for you. Yes, I am so excited for you. I've got more stuff that I got to put on the screen, and I'm having some technical difficulty on my side to do that. So I think the best way for me to do this is just to try to put a trailer onto this whenever we get it put out onto all of our socials. So, man, I'll tell you what, Caitlin, I really love what you're doing and support you 100%. And in Coffee with Democrats, it's going to be an easy thing for us to say, you know what? We're endorsing Caitlin Draper. We really do. And that, so
Thank you.
It's so wonderful to be able to endorse a campaign for a neighboring state. We may be bitter rivals in the SEC, but guess what?
Right.
We love each other. And when we meet each other, we're going to be arm in arm and hugging each other because we love each other so much. And the fact that you mentioned joy in this campaign really matters, because we really have a lot of joy. As a candidate, as a delegate who went to Chicago, I was able to witness that firsthand. And it is where I live in Oklahoma is, Arkansas, Oklahoma, ruby red states. Everybody tells me that, but I see it not as a ruby red state in either one of them. I see these as non-voting people. Have just been so disenfranchised. We've got to get this enthusiasm. And you just talked about that, the enthusiasm that came out of Chicago, the enthusiasm that I see every single day whenever I'm down here at the Cleveland County Democrat headquarters, and the people walking in and buying signs. I mean, it's so unbelievable. We have gone through like 2,000 signs, which we've never had this experience before, and not even with Obama. So it's unbelievable, the excitement that we're seeing with our fellow Democrats. So I'm going to just end it with this. Caitlin, thank you so much for joining Coffee Break on Coffee with Democrats. This is a very short, abbreviated show, but it really highlights you, and that's what we've been able to do. And I really want to thank you. And if we can do this again between now and the November 5th, let's do this again, and we can get through some of those technical bugs and make it a little bit simpler and easier for you the next time. But thank you so much for joining us. You are a great candidate. You're somebody that I think everybody can be inspired by.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, it is truly our privilege and our honor. So everybody, thanks for joining us on Coffee with Democrats. We're going to be back down here in an hour because we've got another Arkansas candidate to talk to. But until then, everybody, please be safe.